Good morning everyone, Shefa Bruch Matzlucha. Ashu Yishvah Hashem Sheva Torim. Parashat Vayetze. Unbelievable parasha like all the parashiot, and in our parasha we have this most famous dream in the Bible, Chalom HaSulam, the dream of the ladder. The ladder that Yaakov Avinu sees in his dream when he goes out is on his way to build the Jewish home. And ויצא יעקב מבאר שבע, וילך חרנה, ויפגע במקום, וילן שם, כי בא השמש. And there is a lot to understand here in this passage. First of all, we all know from last week that Yaakov Avinu lives Be'er Sheva and he goes to Haran. So why is the Torah repeating it? And why is it telling us also that he got out and where he goes? Tell us he's going to Haran. 100%. The Torah wants to tell us a few things. And one of those things is that sometimes in life you can do two mitzvahs in one thing. And here is the same, because in the end of last parasha is written, Vayishma bekol aviv ubekol imo. He listened to the voice of his father and his mother. What does it mean? Because let's understand. Rivka is telling Yaakov, run away because your brother Esau wants to kill you. But Yitzchak is telling him, go to Haran, to my family, and find a wife. So when he's going, he's really doing two things. From one point, he is leaving Be'er Sheva because his mother told him, leave the place because your brother wants to kill you. From the other side, he's going to Haran as his father told him to go and find a wife. It's it's like somebody who had a stepmother that wasn't really nice to him, and his father one day find a shidduch for him in a way, a very good shidduch, and they both going to meet this shidduch, and the son is always looking backwards to see how far he gets from the house, from his home, and the father, he looks all the time straight, and he's asking his son, why are you looking all the time backwards? He says, what do you mean? I'm looking, Baruch Hashem, I'm getting away from this house where I suffered so much. But his father told him, look straight ahead. You know what's waiting for you. I'll find you a color unbelievable. Unbelievable mishpuch. You've got everything there. So this is exactly the point. You, from one side, the son, what is for him important is that he leaves the place where he suffered from his mother, from his, let's say, not his real mother, but anyway, it's stepmother, and he suffered from her. From the other side, the father, he waits for his son to meet this shidduch. And sometimes you yourself are doing both things. You're leaving the place, and you're also going to a place. And this is exactly what the Torah wants to tell us. He is listening to his father and to his mother and thinking about it. Because sometimes when we do a mitzvah, we can uplift the mitzvah when we're thinking about what we're doing. Sometimes we can lose the mitzvah if we don't think about it. So we just do something. Anyway, Yaakov Avinu is getting on his way to do what? To find a wife. Where? In Haran? Haran is not exactly a nice place. And suddenly, Vayifga b'makom, he hits the place. He thinks, what's going on here? Where am I going? To find a wife to build the basis of the Jewish home? Is this the right place? What's going on here? So God brings the sun down. It's written, Vayalen sham kiva hashemesh, because the sun came. What does it mean the sun came? The sun came down suddenly and he went to sleep, and in his sleep, God is telling him exactly what the mission is. There is a ladder that comes from up there and goes down to earth, and Onkelos says, Na'utz be'ara, is stuck inside the earth. What is the meaning of it? And the angels are going up and down. But where do angels come from? They come from up there. So it should be written going down and up. One explanation is that the angels of Eretz Yisrael, they cannot go abroad to Chutz La'aretz, so they're going up, and then the angels of Chutz La'aretz coming down. Okay, but there is another interesting point. It's written Olim v'yordim bo. What does it mean? They're going up and down inside him. Inside what? Inside the ladder? you're climbing the ladder, you're going on the ladder, no, not going in the ladder, but in is more inside, inside Yaakov. In other words, the Torah is telling us about the ladder that goes from down in earth up to heaven, and there are angels that are going up and down inside this ladder, or you right to say inside us. And what are the angels? They are the deeds that we do. When you do a good deed, there is an angel created, and this angel goes up and he comes down with all the good for this world. Those are the angels that are going up and down. There is a lot of other explanation, but a minute. So we have a ladder that is stuck in earth, and angels that are created from the good things that you do are climbing up. And we must understand, Verosho magia shamayma. He goes to heaven, the ladder. And who is standing there? Ve'ineh Hashem nitzav alav. God is on top there. The Torah is trying to tell us that when you want to go to the top, when you want to go up to heaven, you have to start from down. In business, for example, you know, there is a father, he's got a factory for furniture, for example. I'm in the furniture business. Now he wants his son to go into the business. So he's got two options. One option is he gives him a management position, and the other one, he puts him as a worker, as a simple worker in the factory to learn the job. What would you do? A lot of people do the mistake that my son, he's going to be a manager. And then a few years later, the business goes bankrupt, is finished. Why? Because the minute there are problems, the son that started from up there, from the management desk, he doesn't know what's going on in the factory. When they're asking questions, doesn't know how to do. When there is a problem, doesn't know how to deal with it. But if you put your son in the producing hall, and he is starting as a simple worker from down there, producing things, doing all the simple things, he learns what it is. And then when he comes to the management position, when there is a problem, he knows how to deal with it. So in other words, in order to be successful, you have to start from the bottom and climb up. And that's also in the spiritual world. When you want to have solid base, you need a solid base. You cannot just start, okay, you're being raised up in a house of tzaddikim, everybody around you is a tzaddik, and so you go on with life. And then, unfortunately, you know, life, you have ups and downs. Like we says, Malachei Elokim olim ve'yordim bo. There's also the symbol of in life, you sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down. And the Torah tells you, stay on the ladder. Doesn't matter. That's life. Go up and down, up and down. But when we have to understand that when we go through life, and sometimes when we go through certain things, it gives us power. And this power is to strengthening us in order when we have a problem, we can fix it, we can deal with it. But if you, unfortunately, because of life, as we said, ups and downs, you have to move to a place where there are sinners or not a nice environment, and you have problems. Are you going to be able to deal with them? Problem. But when you start from the bottom and you learn how to deal with problems from the beginning, then even if the worst of worst happens, you are still on the ladder climbing. And also if there are olim ve'yordim, if there are downs, ups and downs, you're always on the ladder. You never leave the ladder. And the ladder also is everywhere. Even if now, for example, you are in a most terrible place. It's like, what am I going to do? God tells you, the ladder is with you. I am always here. I am always there. Even if you're in the bottom of the bottom, even if you're stuck inside the tumah, inside the impurity, inside of the bad environment, you have the power. You just have to do the first step. Climb on the ladder. And then, you will come to heaven. For example, you know, a lot of people in life, they did business, they lost the business, and they started again. Those are the most successful people. Trump, for example, he did he had a few problems in life, and look where he is now. But Yaakov Avinu now understands. God is telling him, you think to build the basic of the Jewish home, you can do it in Beersheba, you can find a nice girl, and you will deal with things. What's going to happen next? What's going to happen when you meet Esav? What's going to happen if you meet an enemy? What's going to happen if you meet corruption? How are you going to deal with it? So you have to start building yourself in the worst place. And there you will have the power to build a base that is not going to be ruined, whatever it is. It's not going to be destroyed. And this is unbelievable. When Yaakov understands it, Vayisa Yaakov et raglav. And we are looking at Yaakov, and we see how he deals with all the problems in the when we see in the Parsha, how he deals with Lavan, with the sons, how he deals with his wives, the whole procedure. And then it's written Vayifga b'makom, like he hit the place. So one expression, he was, wow, he says, what a place this is. He was amazed from this place, which is telling in the end of the dream, this is the house of God, this is the gate to heaven, it's a holy place. When he comes back after he's married and he's got his children, look what's happening, what's written in the Torah. He before was amazed of the angels, of the holy place. Here, when he comes back, the angels are hitting him. There, see, wow, look at this guy, this Yaakov. They're amazed. They cannot believe what they see. See, this, what do they see? The basis of the Jewish hope. Yaakov Avinu, who has been with Lavan Aramai, the liar, the corrupt guy, and he managed to build this beautiful family. Wow! But this is all because he started from the bottom. And this is the power. Now you have to understand. Sometimes in life we have difficult times, good times, and how do we deal with them? So look what God is promising. והנה השם ניצב עליו, ויאמר אני השם אלוקי אברהם אביך ואלוקי יצחק, הארץ שאתה שוכב עליה לך אתננה וזרעך, והיה זרעך כעפר הארץ. You're going to be multiply like the sand on the earth. ופרצת ימה וקדמה צפונה ונגבה ונבראוך. You being blessed, everybody's going to be blessed by you. והנה אנוכי עמך, and I, now comes this unbelievable, הנה אנוכי עמך, I am with you wherever you go, ושמרתיך, and I'll keep you בכל אשר תלך, wherever you go, והשיבותיך, and bring you back to the land that belongs to you, this land, כי לא אעזבך, I will not leave you עד אשר אם עשיתי את אשר דיברת. I'm not going to leave you till I'm going to get to the point that I'm going to, that my promise is going to be fulfilled. Unbelievable promise. And we have to understand this. Somebody has to be happy when he sees a thing like this. And this is this famous story. This is about this guy. He wanted to check, how do people, let's say, how do they get long life? How do you get it? What is the secret of long life? So he goes to old age home, and he sees three very old people sitting on the side. And he comes to the first one asking him, what is your secret? How did you live long life? What is the secret of your life, of your long life? He says, what do you mean? I'm keeping healthy. I'm doing exercise. I'm eating only healthy food, no junk food. I'm not drinking all this cola zero and all those other nonsense. I didn't smoke and didn't take drugs. I always kept eating healthy and living in a healthy way. He says, how old are you? He says, 96. Wow. Sees the other guy. And he asks this other old guy, and what is your secret? And he's like, my secret is very simple. I am happy. I am happy all the time. I am happy whatever I get. I'm happy, happy, happy. And I make other people happy also. He says, and how old are you? 106. Wow. Then he goes to the other guy, which looks the oldest of all. And he asks him, and what is your secret? And he says, my secret? My secret? It's no secret. I ate everything. I also drank. I took drugs. I didn't raise my children the right way. They went to the wrong way. I've got no shalom bayit. I'm rowing with my wife. And he says, how old are you? He says, 56. This is the secret of life. When you go in the way of the Torah, you understand the quality of life. and you understand the promise of God, that God is with you when you go into, you are happy all the time. And to conclude this thing, that was this very interesting true story years ago in Antwerp. Antwerp is the city of diamonds. And one of the dealers of diamond came to the Rav Kreuzwirth, which was the chief rabbi of the Keilat Shomrei Hadat, I don't remember, whatever. And he came with he wanted to sue his friend, that he did a deal for him, and he had to give him 0.006 it's a 6 promille, 6 promille. I hope I say it right. But instead, he gave him 0.0005. In other words, he owes him another 0.0001. 1 promille. 1 promille he owns him. He says, for this you go to a Rav? You're crazy or something? But do you know on what deal are we talking? $15 million. Now, if you take 1 promille from $15 million, you're talking about $15,000. This is a lot of money. If we will understand the quality and the reward that is waiting for us for even a small thing that we do, because especially in this generation, we are surrounded with corruption, with people going after the desire, everything is materialistic. Everybody runs about more money, houses, and all the other stuff. Every small thing that we do in a generation like this is unbelievable. Even if it looks like a promille, it's like a small thing we do. We have to understand and realize what a big reward is waiting for us. And if we understand it, that's even a small thing that we do, we get an unbelievable reward. How happy would we be, and how beautiful the life is going to look. And we're going also, Bezrat Hashem, to have long life and happy life. So we climb on the ladder of Yaakov. We climb, and sometimes the ends are going up and down, sometimes they're ups and downs, but we don't leave the ladder, because God is on top waiting for us. And if we do it in the right way, and we never give up, and understand the big reward that is waiting for us, we are climbing up to heaven. All the best. Shefa Brucha v'Hatzlucha.